We are live. I think so. All right, we are live. Got the word from Caleb, our wonderful producer. Welcome back to episode, I have no idea, maybe somewhere between 7 and 10 of WREI TV. Find that flip. This is a daily live stream where we come to you and we just look at distressed properties that are available on the market. We talk about, we kind of shoot the shit. Usually we'll talk about movies or something funny for the first couple minutes, but it's just me, Harrison Bonner, coming to you today. Alex Shakola has some other obligations this morning, but we didn't want to miss you. But yeah, this is just kind of a glimpse into an underwriter's brain. There was a period of time in the business, in our business, where we were doing just a ton of daily underwriting of new deals. We were trying to gobble up anything and everything that we could get our hands on, which meant that we were always looking at properties on market, always, talking to agents every day, submitting offers, sometimes way below the list price. We would submit offers on any property that was available to anyone that would listen and take our emails, because at the end of the day, they had to present them. So we figured the more offers you put out, the more chances you have to getting an offer accepted. But yeah, we'll look at some distressed property. We'll take a look at a couple flip examples, and just talk about it. And I'm just kind of thinking out loud. So if this is if getting into house flipping, or just learning from someone that's been in the business now for 9 years, just wanting to get a glimpse into how I underwrite a deal, if it's something I'm looking at, welcome to the show. All right. So I'm on MLS. Now, obviously, there are a ton of properties available off market, or a ton of properties that could be for sale that you could purchase that are not necessarily listed on the MLS. But this is just where we're going to find our broadest range of houses available. Not always where you're going to find the best deals, although we've bought a ton of great deals on MLS. I think that's kind of people just like to say that the best deals are found off market, and that certainly could be the case. But yeah, this is just what is easiest for us to use when looking at examples. But all right, let's pick a town here. All right, yesterday we had 3,400 exactly single family listings available. Usually Tuesday and Wednesday are when all the properties get listed for the week, so that people have time to prepare for open houses over the weekend. But we were at 3,400 today. We're at 3,391. So that's interesting to keep track of here. All right, let's pick a random town. I'm scrolling. Long Meadow. I just randomly stopped here. Long Meadow. It's not too far from where we are in Holyoke. I don't know much about that market. Actually, take it back. Let's go Lowell. I do know a little bit more about that market. I think there's going to be a little bit more distressed property in Lowell, and I don't want to waste anyone's time that may be tuning in to just trying to find something to take a look at. But all right, we're going to look for single families in Lowell, Massachusetts. All right. Oh, great investment opportunity. These are default sorted by list price. So if I'm looking for something to buy distressed, that's probably going to be the least, the lower, the less expensive end of the spectrum, of the price spectrum, that is. Not the autism spectrum, which I'm fairly high on, I think. All right, let's see. I'll probably go with that one. But I'm just kind of curious what's listed here. So we've got single families listed from 369 all the way up to 1.8 million. This is obviously not really a comp. This is Lowell has some really beautiful property. Lowell is another previous previously very wealthy textile city or in Massachusetts. There was a lot of industry in the early to mid 1900s, and that when you have a lot of wealth being created in an area from making a lot of stuff, you wind up with some beautiful property like this one. But all right, let's see. So yeah, we get a pretty good range here. All right, so let's take a look at our subject property. This is not it. This is a little dated. 449. This looks 429 looks to be in okay condition. This is probably the worst condition. Again, it's the least expensive. We've got 4 beds, 1 bath, 1,100 square feet. Single family, 4 beds, a bathroom, and a kitchen. Currently occupied, tenant at will. Package deal with 733-403. Which one is that? Oh, it's probably a multifamily. But all right, let's just take a look at this house. Oh, great, no pictures. Probably because it's occupied with a tenant at will. This is definitely an old property. This is an old fieldstone foundation. I'm not making any structural claims, but this looks like something that I would want to pay attention to. If you're going to try to flip something, a lot of times you're selling to, especially in this price point, a lot of times you're selling to first-time home buyers, and they have lots of questions. They don't understand anything. No offense to first-time home buyers, but you're lucky if they know how to fix a trip breaker. So you want to keep that in mind when you are making improvements to the property, because you want to make sure that everything you're doing is with your end buyer in mind, right? You're not going to put in marble countertops in a market that really only expects granite, because you're keeping your end buyer in mind. And this is an example of that. So first-time home buyers tend to be very nervous of things that they don't understand, and old foundations that look a little rickety, they definitely do not understand. So this is something that would be a point of not concern, because there's a strong likelihood that there's not really an issue here, but it's something that I'm going to pay close attention to if I'm looking at buying this. All right. So I don't have a lot of information here. I have these 3 photos. This is being lived in. It's could be a really charming little house. It's kind of bland right now. They could use some shutters, some curb appeal here. This is clearly a rental property. The property owner doesn't really care what it looks like, just cares that it rents, which I can also respect. But this house is small enough where I might actually replace the siding if I'm trying to get top of market for the single family in the city, which is kind of what it looks like. Doesn't look like there's much parking. But I'm going to try to make this thing really pop. Because right now, oh no, reserved parking space. Okay, so somehow they have, unless they're just claiming this, it seems like they have some sort of reservation of this spot here. I'm not sure how that's possible, but nevertheless, that's what they're saying. So, all right. Well, unfortunately, there's not a lot of photos, but someone's living in it. So you can see from the back, this could be really charming. These steps walk up here, this little backyard, nice little city house. All right. Not a lot of information at all. Current tenants or tenants that would love to stay. This is if you're looking at buying this and you want to flip it, you're a single family rehabber. this is something you're going to have to keep in mind. You obviously can't uh, do renovations on a property with someone living there, so you'd have to come to some sort of agreement to get the tenants out. And I would advise not trying to fight them in court. I have no idea what the situation is here, but it's something that is going to, you're not going to be able to get started on demo on day one after you close. You're going to have to work to an agreement to get them moved out, and that could always be in your offer. You could not close until the tenants move out. So we've got 4 bedrooms, a full bath, and a kitchen. 4 bedrooms is great. I've said this before, but my personal opinion is that 3 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms is better than 4 full bedrooms and 1 full bathroom. So I would work to try to find a way to do that. We got 1,100 square feet. My guess is that's not including maybe some of this below grade basement space. And I have no idea what this looks like, unfortunately. It's probably why it's been on for 29 days. And it is packaged with another deal, which makes it unique. But all right. Well, I wonder what top of market gets you for 1,144 square feet with virtually no yard in Lowell. So let's try to find what top of market could be. Lots. Oops. I don't know what my address was. I forgot. $260. This is a good one. Diamond in the rough. Another good keyword to search. Great flip there. 260,000 for this. This is listed for 249. This is definitely smaller. This probably went for a little less. I like to find purchase comps as well as sold comps. 230. Now, just because it's a purchase comp, just because someone bought this for 230 doesn't mean it's a good deal, but at least gives me an idea of the market. All right, where's my subject property? As you can see, the Lowell market is moving. There it is. All right, 100 Lane Street. So I'm going to put that in here. Mile. What's the zip code? 01851. Let's go half a mile. And then let's go. We had 1,100 square feet. So let's go 900 square feet to 1,300 square feet. See what we got. All right. $1,248 is sold for $315. My guess is that our subject property is not, in complete disrepair. What's this one look like? Someone's living here. Not great. I'd probably assume maybe something like this in terms of condition. Maybe something like this as well. It can be lived in. It's obviously has someone living in it, but needs a good amount of work to bring it to top of market, that is. All right, so let's try to find top of market for this size. Wow. Okay, 4 bed, 1.5 bath. It's got 3 parking spaces, which I don't believe we have. No, we have the 1 out front. So that makes a difference, but also has a garage. Listed for 525, maybe a little aggressive, but still sold for 488. It's pretty good. New roof, siding, hot water tank appliances, yada yada. Certainly not a flip, but definitely updated and very much lived in. Okay. What do we have here? 510. No garage, 3 parking, 3 bed, 1 bath. This is incredibly charming. Very well maintained. Zoom in a little, sorry. Really well maintained here. 3 bed, 2 bath, 1,200 square feet, 445. Let's see. $4,944.45. Could be a flip property. Not exactly sure, but okay. So our top of market here is somewhere 410. So we're in the fours, maybe a little bit higher than this. 445. All right. 488. All right. I'm going to conservatively say around 450. Around 450, which means that me not knowing anything about the condition of this house, if I want to be in at 70 cents on the dollar, let's see. I need to be all in at 315. So this is already going to be a bit too high for me. But typically if you're coming into a single family and you say, okay, I'm going to do some curb appeal, I'm going to be doing some doors, I'm painting, doing cabinets, maybe refinishing floors, doing some siding. No, it's tough to figure out an exact budget from no pictures and certainly without visiting the property. But you're looking at least probably 50,000 in repairs. That goes fairly quickly. And my guess is that, it certainly could be less, it could be more, but that's kind of in the middle of where I might, just loosely project before I give this agent a call, right? Because the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to give this agent a call and I'm going to talk to them and figure out what's going on. But if I think I can get 450 for this, if I want to be in at 70 cents on the dollar, it's 315,000, and then I subtract my renovation expenses at 500,000. That would mean I need to purchase this in the range of 265,000, which is kind of similar to there was a couple of properties that this sold in 315. So again, it could be a little high there. A little bit larger, not much more space. Just one more parking. It does have one more parking space. If the property, let's say the property, I talked to a couple agents and I think you could fetch more of 475,000. 70 cents on the dollar minus, it's 332 minus 50,000 renovation expense, 282. This is probably something that is not going to work because I want to be in way below their list price. But I obviously have to visit the property to see what's going on. If this tenant wants to stay in place and there's nothing wrong, and you just want to buy it and hold on to it, it's a totally different type of deal. But if it's something I'm looking to flip, then it's I've got to get it at a much bigger discount here than 369,000. I'm probably going to be in the 280 to maximum $300,000 range. for purchase price, which there was a property that sold for that roughly, right? Oops, what happened here? I got kicked out. Well, yeah, this one sold for 260. A little bit larger. This one again listed in that 250 range. Not sure of the condition exact. Oh, some photos. Come on. Let's do this guy. Get there a little bit faster. So yeah, this is, this one needs some love. It's lived in, but it needs some love for sure. And this is in that 250,000 range, which is more where I'd want to be for this other property. But again, I don't know the condition. Maybe it's a lot nicer on the inside, and I really just need to paint and cabinets and floor. And my rent budget is 25, 30,000. Maybe I'm doing some work myself, and it allows us to be a little bit closer to their asking price. But my guess is 369 is a little bit of a stretch. 230. See, these are where I would expect some of these properties to sell in this range. 257. Only one photo. Yeah. So, maybe that's a reason this is still on market. This other one, wherever it's at, 110. Also doesn't want 100 Lane Street. It's also got tenants. There's a number of reasons that it's still on market, but sometimes it's just about, speaking to the agent who's talking to the seller at just the right time. And there's the right circumstance for you to say, hey, I like the property. I think there's some opportunity, but, based on what I've seen, I can't pay more than, let's say the number was 300,000. Can't pay more than 300,000. Maybe it works. Maybe it's not, maybe it doesn't, maybe they're more maybe not more desperate, but motivated is the word, right? But it just takes, and this is why, if we would submit 100 offers, we might get 5 accepted or less, right? And then of those 5, I don't like to submit offers and then just back out of deals. I like to submit offers that I am prepared to close on. That's just for the name of the game. It's a numbers game. So yeah, that's how I think about this property. 100 Lane Street. But all right, let's check on some comments. Sorry, I've been scanning MLS and not looking at comments, but we've done some work in Brockton. Looks like it goes as far out as Lowell. In the past, yes. When we were based in the Boston metro area, we would do work kind of as far south as Brockton and as far north as Lowell. It was a bit of a stretch on my gas tank driving to a number of these properties. It's not. It was a great way to learn a lot of different markets. Because I can talk about Brockton, I can talk about Lowell, I can talk about Holyoke, I can talk about Springfield, I can talk about East Boston. So we certainly have learned a lot. But if you're getting started, I would suggest being a little bit more strategic in your in where you're looking. But yes, we have done work in both of those markets. In Lowell, we did a 6-unit development. And where we're looking now, I would say we are primarily focused in Greater Hamden, Hampshire counties, the Springfield and Holyoke metro area. Mostly mid-size multifamily, 8 to 20 or maximum of 30 units in size is kind of our sweet spot. But for the right deal, we would do something a little bit smaller as well. And think this year we're going to be adding a little bit more sort of active, quicker turn and burn flips to our portfolio. And I think the first episode of Find That Flip, we underwrote a single family that was an auction property in Holyoke, not too far from where I'm sitting now, actually. And it's currently under agreement. So we got a little too caught up and weren't able to visit and make an offer on that property, but it'll be a fun one to follow. It was on MLS for like 100,000, but they said the real list price was 137. Way we were looking at it, it was an auction. I thought that, in that 130 range was probably a pretty good number. So I didn't think they were too far off with their actual asking price on through the auction website. But yeah, it's, I think whoever buys it, assuming they didn't overpay, will be a really great opportunity for them. So, but all right, well, let's see. Marek, good to see you. Thanks for chiming in. We just did a podcast with Marek yesterday. A really successful and very cool story investor out of New Jersey. So we are looking forward to that coming out soon. But thanks, everybody. I'm going to wrap it up there because I've got to jump to some real work. But I hope you got some value out of this and sign off until tomorrow. Find That Flip. Thanks again.